Hey guys, Jason here from Headfirst. We're checking out the Club Secret 25, which is the new release collaboration between Shay at Monomyth and my good self. We did 10 of these in 25. It's the second run for the Club Secret brand. We first launched this collaboration in 23, where we did 6 amps, and we are beyond stoked to be able to finally get this one out. We started work on this amplifier design late in 24 when I visited the US and spent time with Shay, and we worked on a prototype for this amp in his workshop. Once I returned to Australia, we continued to collaborate on this thing, and I completed the design work. And as I said, now finally we're stoked to have this thing done, and the amps have shipped. This is the last one. It'll be shipped out tomorrow. So I thought while I had it here, before it goes to its Australian owner, we would just do a quick run through to demonstrate kind of the sounds, the tones, and how we kind of visualize that this amp will be dialed in and used. This would be hopefully a helpful video for the guys that have grabbed one of these, but also maybe in the future, if we do some more of these in a future run, this video might be helpful for you as well. Okay, it's a 2-channel amplifier. It's foot switchable with a simple single button foot switch, which is included. So we have in channel 1 here, a clean channel with its own EQ. This is a Fender style clean with its own gain and volume. Okay, and you kind of use the gain and the volume here. We use the gain pot to dial in the kind of clean sound that you're after, whether you want something that's kind of more sparkly on top, you'll have the gain pot lower. And if you want something that's kind of broader and fuller and a bit thicker, you'll have the gain pot higher. Over here we have the gain channel, and the thing of note in here, standard EQ, gain pot as you'd expect. This alto pot, you can think of that like a tight pot, a way of kind of dialing in how tight the preamp is, and we'll obviously demonstrate that. On the left hand side here we have power amp controls. Okay, so you heard me just do a quick play in there of the gain channel. Don't worry, we'll explore that more fully. Before we do that, I'm going to give you a quick rundown on the clean. So I've just gone to the middle position here on this Nags. I will say I'm just plugged straight into the front of this amp. We're coming into one of my Headfirst cabs here. I've got a V30. On the bottom of the cab here, that's been mic'd with an SM57, and that's going straight into Logic. And that's all we're getting here. So this channel is super clean, really pristine, clean channel. Loud and punchy too. Really like this way this clean channel came out, right? Something that we had the idea behind this clean channel back in December when we were together, and then we worked on this in the new year, prototyped it, and really happy with how it's come out. As I said, you can use this kind of gain pot to kind of thicken the sound up. So if I bring it up, I'll bring the volume back to compensate, because we'll get really loud real quick. So just when it's the gain up like that, the channel doesn't really break up, right? It's, as I said, it's a really clean. But with the gain up, it will fill out and become a bigger kind of, have more bottom end and weight in the tone, right? Let's go to the gain channel, because I'm sure that's all you really want to hear, no doubt. Okay, I'm going to start this in the lower of the gain position. So it has this drive control here, which basically takes you from a high gain to an even higher gain. Okay, and we'll start off by demonstrating what the alto pot will do. So I'm going to bring the gain right up here so you can kind of get a sense of what this guy does. We'll start at midday and I'll just move it up and down. I'm just in standard tuning here. We will do some drop D stuff so you can get a sense of what the amp will do with that, but let's start here. So obviously with higher settings on that altar pot, a lot more bottom end than the preamp, right? And you can hear like it really moves there. I can feel my legs. That's 4x12 pushing on my legs here, right? But you bring this back, it gets super, super tight. Okay, we will check out the high gain mode in a second. Let's not talk about the EQ here, okay? This EQ, the bass middle treble here, does not respond like a standard Marshall tone stack. So kind of, you got to forget about that and just use your ears to dial this guy in. I will play with these controls and you'll get a sense of kind of what they will do. You can really change the tonality of this amplifier massively with these guys. I find that with the treble in the middle, kind of around midday, but with this bass pot nearly all the way up, if not all the way up, right? That's pretty much the Goldilocks position for this amp. You can play with everything at midday. It kind of needs that bass pot pushed. Maybe that's kind of a, you know, an okay position if you're trying to get more kind of classic rock sounds out of this amp. But for the high gain stuff, bring this gain pot up, bring the alto back, then with this bass pot pushed, so you really get that thud and the chunk. All right, let's talk about this drive function here. So this is, I've been playing this so far in the lower of the gain mode. So we go into the higher gain mode here, and you can hear a little bit more gain hiss there. This is where the amp, yeah, really starting to deliver for the high gain guys. it will like this. In fact, what I'll do is I'll just move to drop D here real quick. That's definitely loud in here. Oh man. Okay. Let's talk about what's going on in the power amp section over here. So depth and presence, probably pretty self-explanatory, right? I'm sure everyone knows what that is. If I pull the depth out, you'll see you lose a lot of that bottom end chunk. This punch switch here is really about changing and configuring the negative feedback in the amp. So when it's flipped over this way, the amp will be darker, a bit quieter as well, but tighter. So if you just flick this and don't adjust the presence, the amp will sound too dark, right? But I'll show you the trick. So you do this, sorry. So once it's in this mode, you'll hear. So all we do at this point is just bring this presence up, right? Don't be afraid, crank it right up. And all that top end sizzle will come back and you'll have an amplifier that is tonally quite different than when the punch switch is switched to the right. All right, guys, just a quick run through of the Club Secret. We're really happy with this amp. We hope that the guys that are grabbing these will be stoked with them as well. I'm sure they will be. I want to thank everyone for their support of the Club Secret brand and what we're doing with that, but also for Shay's company, Monomyth, and here at Head First. Both of us really appreciate the support and ongoing interest in what we're doing. There's some really exciting things coming for both of us through the balance of 2025, some new product releases and a bunch of other things. And if you're interested in one of these, do feel free to reach out to either Shay or I. We are thinking about possibly doing another run at some point in the future. We think the amp's too good not to share, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.